Stevie Wright was certainly one of the interchange players for the Swans, and it could be Dale Lewis with him.
Umpire throws it up a sticky middle here at the SCG, and it sticks right in the middle. So get used to it, boys. Right in the first seconds of the game, that's what it's like.
It's a bit different to yesterday, Robbo. The centre of the ground at Princes Park was the best part of the ground. The rest was terrible. And completely the other way around here.
Lawrence missed that one. Anderson couldn't get it clear. The umpire would be better to walk about 8 metres over and get it out of there.
Oh, look at that. Gee whiz. You've got to carry that around for the rest of the match.
Paul Kelly, it's good for cricket pitches, but not too good for footy in the middle of winter. Oh, there'll be a free kick coming up soon. Nothing surer.
Actually, early in the match, you can usually detect the intensity of the teams, and the Swans diving in. Let's hope they can get a couple of goals early.
Lawrence wins this, but comes to Wright, who kicks it straight back into the pack. Will they ever get it out of here? Anderson, he's caught in a good tackle, and eventually it's Chris Mew, who clears the centre square after about 3 minutes of nothing. Here's Jenke. Ray Jenke up from defence, goes for the first goal of the day and misses badly and kicks it behind.
Not a bad kick. Yeah, not a difficult shot, was it, Robbo? He's only 40 metres out. He was very lucky to scrape in for a behind.
Maybe he got the surprise of his life to see, first of all, the collect and then the clear run that he had at the goals, and missing by, 7 metres nearly. Tui to kick the ball back into play, goes to that far side of the ground, well outside 50 metres. At the back, nearly a mark to Jenke, gets the handball over the top, chipping in as Athorn. Harassed out of it by Hall. Good play, Hudson. Now chance for Pritchard, gets his foot to the ball and kicks it and hits the post. So not a bad shot there by Darren Pritchard from deep in that left forward pocket. The Hawks are 2 behinds. The Swans yet to score, and Tui kicks it in once again. There's a player unattended at centre half back. It's Neil Cordy. He handballs it away to Athorn. Could be run down. No. Just has time to get his kick away up towards half forward. No mark there to Lewis, who has started in the 18. Chance now for Whittlesey. The ball now with Athorn. Mitchell. Good evading work there by Mitchell. Now Lewis with the unnatural side, the right side, but the mark has been taken by Darren Jarman, just backward of the centre. He's probably at centre half back, Darren Jarman, and he gets around the opposition pretty easily. He's a very, very skillful player. The kick towards half forward. No mark taken. Chance for Hall. That tackle's certainly too high.
Did he duck his head though, Robbo? I thought he ducked.
Maybe a little fortunate. Jenke takes the hand pass. Jenke's pass is a beauty and hits Dunstall. The lead was excellent, and everything about that was just great football by the Hawks.
It's Tony Hall playing his 50th game for the Hawks. He's come back after 2 knee reconstructions, so it's a good effort by him.
Dunstall wouldn't have any trouble with the distance, and a beautiful kick straight through the centre. First goal to Hawthorn. Dunstall 1 goal. The Hawks are 1-2-8. Sydney yet to score.
Well, it's good to see that Hawthorn haven't gone with a specific tagger on Greg Williams. You watch that in replay. A quick hand pass out there to Jenke. A magnificent pass. Good lead by Jason Dunstall. He's kicked over 600 goals in his AFL career. And one of the 2 leading full forwards, along with Tony Lockett, the other one.
Hawthorn doing all the scoring. Here's Greg Williams for his first touch in his comeback game. He gets it back to Doolan. Bouncing ball up short of half forward. Lawrence is there. Dishes back the hand pass to Whitman. He goes wide. Condon. Hawthorn getting space. I noticed Jenke's actually on the wing, didn't have an opponent. Brereton. Oh, he should have gobbled that one. Brereton being picked up by Bays. Paddled out by Kelly. Here's Williams with the customary hand pass to Mitchell. Mitchell from half-back flank, up to centre wing. And Kerr, no mark. Whitman the spoil. And Chris Whitman sees the ball out of play.
Fairly underrated player, Chris Whitman. Does a good job for Hawthorn across that half-back line. And has held his place in a very, very formidable Hawthorn lineup. The ruck contest, Lawrence. Williams chips in. Desperate underneath the pack. The kick goes up towards the Hawthorn half-forward area. Coming out as Hall. Cordy's got a big job trying to contain him for the afternoon, and the ball is forced over for a boundary throw-in. The play is about 75 to 80 metres around from the Hawthorn goal. They've kicked a goal through Dunstall. Brilliant passage of play, but we come to expect it from Hawthorn, who are a very, very talented lineup. Mitchell can't get through. Pritchard, the tackler, along with Condon, and he's been penalised. And Condon looked to play on. The umpire's called it. Jenke. Now a chance for Darren Jarman. Jarman's pass is brilliant. Look at Dunstall.
Well, he can lead with confidence, can't he, Ian, with passes like that coming from Jarman. And Greg Williams back, well, his fitness, we don't know how fit he is. He's playing on Darren Jarman, and with a tough job defensively.
Which do you think is important, the pass or the lead? The lead was brilliant.
Well, one makes the other, Robbo.
Dunstall's kick misses to the right, so he's got a tally there of 1-1 early in the game. Hawks 1-3. Sydney yet to score. And always remember, Ron Barassi used to say it's all very well to give a hand pass, but you've got to have the target to give it to. And sometimes the passes are all right, but you have to have the lead to kick it to as well.
Kick in. Jenke flies from behind, can't take the mark. Bays slides out the hand pass to Kelly. Away go the Swans, still looking for their first score. That ball rushed over the boundary line by Lawrence, and we'll have a throw in at centre wing. Fine day in Sydney. Beautiful conditions for football, except the cricket pitch area. And you can see Paul Kelly with plenty of mud on him already. 25 for the Swans is Willis. Comes to Condon. Pass to Hudson over his head. Brereton in the play for the first time. Allen. Hudson did well to run into space and take the mark about 40 metres from goal.
There's a real danger player for the Sydney Swans, Paul Hudson. He's had a terrific year so far, kicked over 40 goals for the year. He starts off as a ruck rover, moves into the half-forward line. Just one of the many players on that Hawthorn forward line capable of kicking 4 or 5 goals.
Paul Hudson for goal. Good kick. That's looking ominous already. 2-3 to nothing.
Yes, it's pretty tough for Sydney. They haven't been able to win the ball out of the middle, and they really haven't got the ball down across the half-forward line even yet. So the signs aren't good so far. Hawthorn doing all the attacking. They've got numerous forwards, plenty of forwards. Dunstall doing well already on Tui. And Hudson kicking that goal, one of the many Hawthorn good forwards.
There was a free kick being picked out at the ruck contest back in the centre. It's going to the Hawthorn. Swans having too many in the centre square. The kick to centre half forward. That could have been nearly a mark paid there to Neil Cordy, and it has been. He did touch it initially and eventually brought it down with the second and third grabs. Sees a player wide on this near side, Doolan, and Doolan, gee, he looks more like a front rower, doesn't he, for Balmain. Ben Doolan, and the kick goes towards half forward. Vin Doolan, of course, played a lot of football with North Melbourne. Barry Mitchell passes it, maybe a good fortune there. Kerr, 50 metres from goal. Kerr goes long, it's close, it's a mark anyway to Tunbridge in the goal square. And Big Tunbridge is his opponent for the afternoon, Michael Tuck. If it is...
Pretty tough for Tucky.
It is, a lot of centimetres given away there by Michael Tuck. And Tunbridge really should kick the goal. He's in the square, and he puts it straight through for the Swans' first goal. So Brad Tunbridge, 1 goal. The Swans have kicked 1 straight. Hawthorn 2-3. The lead, 9 points to the Hawks.
Yes, it looks like Michael Tuck has got the job on Tunbridge. Bit of luck there coming Sydney's way. Missed kick. Ending up. And there's a good mark to Tunbridge in the square. He's 195 centimetres and Tucky 188. So 7 centimetre advantage. So tough job there for Tucky.
Well, it took the Swans 9 minutes to get on the board, but they're not too far out of it. Williams burrowing underneath.
And one of the state selectors you were going to mention then, Drew, about Calvin Moore, coming up here to watch him in anticipation of him being selected on Tuesday night.
Yeah, and if he makes that, it'd be a terrific performance because he's missed, about 5 or 6 weeks. Here's Cordy. Cordy's kick up towards centre wing. Kerr, spoiled by Whitman. Doolan. Whitman gets him. Kerr, away to Williams. Greg Williams at centre wing. Looks at many options there. Collins over the ball. Anderson, back to Lawrence. No pattern today for Hawthorn. Hudson, a good hand pass. Pritchard, a beauty to Anderson. He approaches the 50. Dean Anderson for goal. Open slather, and he misses.
Gee, Hawthorn have that, what would you call it, just magic understanding of where to go, don't they? The hand passes always seem to be the right option. It's never a player that is standing still, and that hand pass from Pritchard to Anderson was magnificent. Now here's an opportunity for Lawrence, who seems to be growing in stature with every game he plays. Lawrence is kicked towards full forward, but in front is Tui. Could have been nearly 50, but Dermott being a little careful, and the umpire gave him the benefit of the doubt. Tui's kick is wide. The mark is taken by Kelly. Kelly is at half back. Left side of his body absolutely caked in the mud from the centre. He fell over very early in the game. Now chances for Kerr. Tries to get the hand pass away. Chopped off now by Pritchard. He couldn't gather the ball. Carroll. Over the top was Condon. The ball runs free. Struggle there for possession. Underneath it for the Swans, Mitchell. Now a chance for Carroll, Kelly, Williams, and the Swans are up towards full forward. And good play, Langford. Just got rid of Kappa and took the mark at full-back.
Langford up to Jarman in the centre of the ground. Darren Jarman didn't have an opponent, and he races away unattended to Dunstall. Well, he's had 3 beautiful leads and 3 perfect passes, Jason Dunstall.
Gee, wasn't that a good kick?
Well, he's a terrific player, Jarman. There's no doubting his skill and ability. And Jason Dunstall, every time he sees that Jarman's got the ball, he takes off. He can lead with confidence.
Dunstall for his second. Really should be for his third. It's a bad miss, his second kick. That runs right through.
You talked about being centimetre perfect. That one had to be millimetre perfect, didn't it? Just to carry enough for the full forward.
That's right. It wasn't just a 25-metre kick. That was about 45 or 50.
It really was fantastic.
Absolutely spot on. This is the danger. Greg Williams, the centreman for Sydney, is not a great defensive player. And Jarman taking the opportunity to run free is going to cause Sydney plenty of problems.
Back in the centre, Swans go forward up towards this centre half forward position. Bouncing ball, Kappa, Langford trying to crash his way through was Murphy. Kappa fighting on, Langford beats him. Now Jarman gets clear of Murphy, and Jarman's kick finds Ben Allen on centre wing. He's forward of the wing. The kick towards half forward, punched away from Burton by Bays. Good play, Higgins. Kelly gathers it. Hand passes to Doolan. Doolan fumbles. Oh, good play, McKenzie. The shepherd again allowed the path for Higgins, and the pass was a beauty. And he finds Kerr, and that could have nearly been. I thought Whitman knocked it out of his arms.
Yeah, looked
could
like
have
a
nearly
rubber.
been 50.
Yep, certainly.
Kerr's pass short, and chipping in to take the mark is Mew. And what an integral part of the Hawthorn defence is Chris Mew, who prematurely retired, 18 months ago, and now he's back in there, playing well for Hawthorn. The pass is marked out here by Morrissey. Left foot kick, not bad. Burton, left-hand hand pass, good option. Anderson, back it goes to Allen. In short, Jenke, you don't know where he's playing, but he's loose. Pritchard, into an open goal. Pritchard won't miss this. Oh, yes, he does. He hits the post. Well, there you go. Derek Pritchard.
He's had 2 shots and both hit the post, so that is centimetre perfect.
That's right. The earlier one, perhaps a little bit harder than that one.
Well, I'm trying to work out where Jenke's playing. He certainly hasn't got an opponent, and he's just having a picnic. Centre wing Doolan after the pass by Bays. And really looking dangerous for Sydney. It's 3-5 to 1 goal. Hawthorn dominated. Kappa comes down to Jarman. Good hand pass. Back to Whittlesey. Over the top he goes. Lawrence. He's got players going past. Ball holds up in the centre circle in that mud. Hurried kick out of there by Condon. A diving mark taken by Hall. No mark. Play on. And the umpire will ball it up.
Just for a couple of seconds there, I had a look at Jenke, and he looks as though he may be playing on that centre wing or half-back flank.
I reckon wing, but I haven't been able to work out an opponent for him yet.
Maybe Kelly. Now the Hawks trying to push it forward with just numbers. Mitchell, caught, gets it away to Kelly. Kelly's hand pass is good. Williams is going to get caught. little too slow. Good running by Allen. Brought that Swans player down. Tunbridge to Kappa. Ball runs free. Chance for Murphy. Gets back onto the right foot. Can he get clear? Yes. Well done, David Murphy. And he punts for goal, and it's true. David Murphy gets his first goal, and it was a good one. Sydney 2 goals straight. Hawthorn 3-5.
It was an excellent goal there to Murph. He was under a fair amount of pressure. He showed great poise to get back onto the right foot. There's a hand pass there from Kappa coming in, knocking the ball ahead. Murphy with great pace, as we know he's got. Hawthorn players coming at him, and just that poise, was able to get back in the right boot and screw it back there for an excellent goal.
Umpire throwing the ball up in the middle, and there's another centre square infringement, this time to the Swans, and Willis to take the free kick. Aythorn. Kappa got the kick. Oh, comes to Kappa. Didn't look like it was going to reach him. Left foot snap. Close. I think it's a goal. Well, Warwick Kappa didn't look as though he's a chance to get it, and then didn't look as though he's a chance to kick the goal. He did both.
I think he got a bigger shock than anybody here, Kappa. Unbelievable. The ball just slipping over the back there, hit him on the chest. He wasn't even aware that it was coming his way, and normally he would have gone back and had a shot at goal. You would have thought 9 times out of 10, but on the left boot and put it through.
Well, it's funny. The football here at the Sydney Cricket Ground, it always has a certain amount of mystique about it. And Hawthorn, after dominating the first few minutes, kicking 3-5, all of a sudden the Swans have kicked 3 straight, and there's only 5 points in it. Brereton marks at centre-half forward.
Mystique and mystery. It was a mystery that Kappa kicked that goal.
Just amazing, isn't it? But, well, I suppose it's winning the ball out of the centre, which Bernie has already mentioned, and you must do that. There's a good mark taken by Jenke over Kelly.
I think you're right, Robbo. I think he's playing on the wing on Paul Kelly. So we'll have this shot from about, well, just inside the 50-metre line, Jenke. A terrible kick at goal earlier in the match, so this from a set shot.
And a former All-Australian player, Ray Jenke. Nice kick to the goal square. No one can take that mark, and it's hurried through for a rush behind of the Hawks. So 3-6 to 3 straight. And we've got 10 minutes left in the first quarter. Bernard Toohey prepares to kick the ball back into play. A few interesting matchups. I thought Aythorn had Pritchard early, but he's a long way away from him at the moment. The ball at half back, Williams. Oh, there was a solid Shepherd. Out comes the ball to Mitchell. Mitchell's kick towards half forward. Looking here for Kerr in front of Whitman, and the ball goes over for a boundary throw-in. Right half forward for the Swans, about 80 metres around from their goal. There's Robert Kerr, who figured earlier in a little hand pass that got the Swans a goal through Tunbridge. Mew doing the ruck work. Jarman knocked off the football. So is Anderson. That was a good tackle by Kelly, and usually they're rewarded for pinning players who are trying to break away, and the Swans supporters not happy with that umpiring decision. Anderson getting up, maybe realising that he really was tackled. It was a beauty.
Correct decision, Robbo. He had no chance.
Mew wins in ruck. Flicked out the back to Williams. I think it was right. Left foot kick in a hurry to the forward line, and beats Tuck out of bounds. That came from Mackenzie. Well, Michael Tuck, 38 years of age, and he was amongst the Hawks' best last week, if not best on ground. Here he is today in the back pocket. Mew tries it in ruck again. Tunbridge clean possession. Mackenzie up and down on the one spot. Has it got the distance? No. And rushed through for a behind. Well, it has been a good comeback by the Swans. They trailed by just 5 points. At one stage, Hawthorn had 8 shots to 1, and it was looking like how far?
A one-way street, wasn't it, early? Langford kicks it in and goes straight up the ground, quite near the cricket pitch area. Jarman pushes out Greg Williams, and it looked pretty obvious from here. Greg Williams will take the free kick. Looking for a lead. It's forthcoming. The pass is not bad. And well done, Tunbridge. You could see Williams not too sure about the distance. The lead was all right. The pass was good. And Tunbridge has the chance from about 40 metres out.
We've got 10 metres on Tucky there, so Tucky will just have to be careful. Tunbridge, a leading player. Better be aware that he has to stay right with him.
Big man, Brad Tunbridge. Long kick, just off line to the right. So he has 1-1. His personal tally. The Swans 3-2. They trail by 4 points. The Hawks are 3-6.
Langford kicks in. Doolan did well to get to the front of the pack. Knocks it back 20 metres. Whitman caught in a good tackle by Kelly. Kelly in after it again. Whittlesey dishes out the hand pass. Well played, Mitchell. All the Swans here. Tunbridge. He's got Williams in support. Greg Williams round onto the left boot. Not a great kick. Kappa with the sit. And it's rushed through by Langford.
Yeah, maybe that's a bit of match practice from Greg Williams. I think probably 7 times out of 10 you'd have backed him to at least score. And having been out of it for, 4 or 5 weeks, certainly that kick was not a customary one that we expect from the champion Swans centre man. The ball over the back. Higgins gets past Morrissey onto that left foot. Kicker smothered. Bad option. Condon goes to Morrissey. He's caught by Athorn. Good tackle. Morrissey's clever little tap on. Condon overruns it. Back after it he goes. Over the top was Higgins. And surely that's a free kick to Hawthorn.
It certainly is, Robbo. He sat right in the middle of Condon's back.
Crude effort there by Leon Higgins.
The crowd not happy with it, but an obvious free kick.
And Condon, with just under 7 minutes left, the kick falls short. Nearly gathered by Dunstall, picked off by Toohey. Kick wide, Swans may rebound here. Williams has got acres out there on that outer side. One bounce, he's going to get caught. Perhaps trying to direct it a little bit too much, and he's run too far. So the free kick will go to Hawthorn to be taken out there by Jenky. He doesn't mess around. And Hawthorn may rebound now through Jarman. Jarman's long kick into the pocket. High flyers required. Punched away by Bays. Morrissey overruns. The tap out comes to Mitchell. Hand pass further. Williams at half back. Short pass, okay. Mark taken by Lewis. A very talented young player, Dale Lewis. And the Swans looking for big things from him for the next, 5, 6, 7 or 8 years, maybe. Let's hope so. Ball at half forward for the Swans. Jenky. Handball out. Whitman comes clear. Runs through centre wing. Gets onto the right foot. Kick towards centre half forward. No one home for Hawthorn. And Cordy marks a little too easily. Kelly. Williams. Back to Kelly. He looks a likely type, this young fellow too. Kick is a little too high for Mitchell. He let it go through. Collins overruns it. Now the race is on. Whitman gets back first and takes it over. The Swans fans looking for the free kick.
Clutching at straws, looking for one there. But 24-21, and the Swans right in this. 5.5 minutes to go to quarter time. Mitchell couldn't get it clear. The umpire will ball it up. Been a great little player for the Swans, Barry Mitchell. McKenzie wins in ruck. Comes to Whitman. Hand pass is blocked. It was by Lewis. Goes through Doolan. Back outside the 50 now. Athorn. Away he goes to Murphy. Round on the left boot this time. A high ball to full forward. Oh, yes. Tunbridge, another one.
Well, he's just a little bit too tall for Michael Tuck at the moment, Drew. Hawthorn will have to consider putting a taller player in that matchup. As I said, he's 7 centimetres taller than Tucky. And doing very well at the moment, Tunbridge.
And he kicks his second goal to put the Swans in front, would you believe?
And you tipped the Swans, I believe, at the lunch that we attended. Correct? You didn't make any commitments before the game started either, though, did you?
Only thank them for a free meal.
Seeing this again, Murphy again involved in this passage of play. Out on that left foot, he's got skills on both sides of his body. And in front, Tunbridge, not a great effort at spoiling there from Tucky either. Tucky with his height, a big worry to Michael Tuck.
And the crowd just coming to life a little bit here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. The Swans have hit the front. Williams tries to tap it out to the advantage of Doolan. Doolan's handball. Williams has got some space. Look out, you're going to get caught. No, with cleverness, he gets past Allen. Handballs it back. Murphy's lovely long kick. What a goal, David Murphy! Magnificent kick by Murphy to get his second goal. And the Swans, this is what we're used to from Sydney here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Great football, and the architect, Greg Williams.
Well, Williams noticed that the ball had been won out of the centre by Sydney and just kept running down on that forward line. And Murphy also adding support there. They're starting to win the ball out of the middle quite regularly. And after a very tardy start, they're certainly doing well now.
In the middle, can't come clear yet. Here's Williams again. He is dominating once more. He's an amazing player. Here's Jarman. Just gets a hand pass away. Looked a bit like a throw. Murphy. Oh, running onto this is Higgins, showing them a clean pair of heels. Couple of bounces, up to the 50. Left foot kick is partly smothered. A great pick-up, Collins. And then he kicks out on the full.
Good play, Kappa.
Good play, Kappa, and also Tunbridge, the two players there for Sydney.
You get the impression that they're, pretty revved up, the Swans. They look pretty keen, don't they?
I think they've got a sniff at the moment, Robbo.
Haven't they ever?
Kick taken by Kerr. Tunbridge is there again. And Lewis, but tidying up is Collins for Hawthorn. Since the Hawks made that great start, they've kicked just one behind, while the Swans have hit back with 4 goals 3. A total turnaround in this game. Jenke. Once again, no opponent in sight. Ray Jenke looking to complete a weekend double for the family. His sister was in Australia's winning netball side yesterday. Out of defence, along the boundary line, Kelly, and out of play.
And if he's Jenke's opponent, he's a long way away from Jenke, isn't he? Back there in the back pocket, Paul Kelly. We still can't quite work out what's happening, because Ray Jenke is back behind play now, about 30 metres, and still on his own. Chance the Swans to get through Neil Cordy, and the tackle deemed as a little high, so Neil Cordy will take the free kick. Handballs it away, and the kick coming from, quite pick out who that was it Mitchell? Up towards centre wing. No, here's Mitchell now, tapping it on. Centre half forward, kick off the ground by McKenzie, kicking in danger, says the central umpire Gary Forster, and the free kick will go to Hawthorn, to be taken back there by Chris Mew. No mark to Hudson. Williams, he was going to hand pass, then he nearly tried to grab it back again, goes in again, handball, and it's kicked out of bounds by a Hawthorn player, and the Swans fans screaming, and it's going to be given to a Swans player as a kicking in danger infringement. It'll be taken there by Higgins.
Lots of stars on show here today. I'll tell you one who hasn't had a touch is Brereton. Up towards half forward, and a good mark at the back by Whittlesey. He's had very few opportunities in the seniors at Hawthorn in his first year. Just 3 games prior to today. Back to centre wing. Punch away in defence. Williams under the pack again. Holmes gets the ball out to Murphy. Kick by Murphy inside the 50. Kappa's there. Whitman sees it out. Defence pretty close to the boundary line here.
It's one of the dangers of the Sydney Cricket Ground, Drew, that the boundary line and the fence, there's only, about 2 or 3 metres space there.
Tunbridge and Langford. Tunbridge doing well on that forward line. Collins, a terrier. Lewis. Kick out of the pack, out of bounds on the full from McKenzie.
So Chris Langford back there for Hawthorn to take the free kick. And you've already mentioned that the Swans have done pretty well after labouring in the early minutes of the game. There's a good mark taken out at half back there by Chris Mew. The Swans doing pretty well in the middle part of this first quarter. We've got just under a minute left, so chance for Holmes. He bashes the ball way out towards the boundary line, eventually over for a throw in just forward of centre wing in Hawthorn's forward half. The Swans lead 5-3, the Hawks are 3-6. Ruck contest at the back, Willis. In front, Lawrence. Jarman gathers the ball, round onto the left foot. He's well tackled by Bays and thrown to the ground. You'll earn it if you're going to get a kick, says Mark Bays. Now the ball at half forward for the Hawthorn side, and it's hurried over for another boundary throw-in. Player there, Darren Holmes. Don't know too much about him, Bernie. Recruited from Lavington down near Albury.
His late inclusion in the side with Terry Thrip out.
Playing his 6th game of league footy all this season. Morrissey. Just seconds remaining to quarter time. No more scores. Brereton got a fingernail to that. That was all. And that is quarter time. What a comeback by the Swans. At one stage it was 8 scoring shots to 1. And now it's 9 Hawthorn, 8 to Sydney. And the Swans lead by 9 points.
So play about to recommence. The Sydney team lead by 9 points. Ball being thrown in the air, and obviously a new footballer going to start the quarter. Hudson, long kick towards full forward. Which way will this bounce? Chance for Dunstall. Bay's in there to help out. Toohey, tap on by Dunstall. Getting back as Toohey. A quick kick goes straight towards the boundary line, and it goes over for a throw in that right forward pocket for Hawthorn, about 20 metres around from their goal.
Robbo, Hawthorn have made a change at the start of the second quarter. Tunbridge is now being picked up by Langford, and Jenke is playing fullback on Kappa, and Michael Tuck picking up the Rovers. Murphy in the pocket.
Tony Hall had a huge leap at that boundary throw in and got it away to Morrissey, who snapped the goal and kicked it behind. Jamie Morrissey, a little bit quiet in the first quarter. And Bernard Toohey, who's lined up a fullback on Dunstall, kicks in, on the bounce to Williams. That was a bit dangerous. Back to Toohey, even more dangerous. And Bernard Toohey, with a good fend off, gets out of trouble. Aythorne, round the corner, kicks that one low. Beautiful pass to Cordy. Cordy up towards centre wing. Lewis outnumbered here, and the ball will beat him out anyway.
I suppose when you think about it, that wasn't a bad kick by Neil Cordy, because there was no one to kick it to. Whoever they were too far away, so at least he went for the safety of the boundary line and not turning it over, which coaches get very, very disappointed with when you win possession. It's at centre half forward now for the Swans. Tuck on top of Murphy. Tuck still in there, trying to struggle free of those Swans forwards, who are working very hard to keep it in their scoring area. The Swans leading 5-3 to 3-7. Umpire will bounce. Every part of this ground is in absolutely magnificent condition, apart from the muddy centre. It's been raining all the week here in Sydney, and this is a great ground when you consider just that fact. Dale Lewis has the free kick. Condon and Carroll having a dust up just off the football there, and Lewis is 55 metres from the goal. He kicks it to the front. Could be a Swans mark. It is a good one taken by Kerr, because he kept his eyes on the football, and he gets a pat on the head from Greg Williams.
Well, that's something that Whitman didn't do. He was looking for Langford to come in and complete the spoil. But Chris Whitman, a vital mistake there, because he just took his eye off the ball and was relying on his teammate to do the work for him.
Now Kerr is only 25 to 30 metres out, directly in front. He kicks very hard at the ball, and by the look of him, he's missed. He certainly has, so that's a bad one for the Swans. Kerr's first score for the afternoon is the Sydney Swans' fourth behind. They lead 5-4 to 3-7 in the early part of this second term.
Big kick in towards the centre square. Mew went straight at it and pretty hard. Well done, Chris Mew. They're claiming he was holding it, but the umpire will ball it up. Might add, Mitchell also went straight at Mew, and Mew about twice his size, so great play by both those players. Just off the muddy centre. Willis, but intercepted by Allen. He's kicked to centre half forward. Brereton palms the ball out, comes to Condon. Back he goes to Anderson, a rare fumble. And he's lost it. Mitchell. Hall there again. Carroll gets the ball up the ground to Doolan. Mew off the ground. Good pick up by Anderson, and then he's ridden into the ground and will take the free kick.
Bit stiff there, Holmes, I felt. Anderson with the free kick forward of the wing. Kicks it towards centre half forward. No mark taken. Ball slips through to the back. Brereton hand pass. Collins, what's he doing up there? Doesn't matter. He's kicked a goal for the Hawks. Andrew Collins gets his first goal. And what would you think he'd be doing? Bernie maybe tagging someone or playing as a rover to try and lift the Hawks?
Well, I think he is doing the roving now, Robbo, with Michael Tuck taking over the back pocket role, minding the Rovers. He's picking up Murphy. And, of course, Johnny Platten out of the team has given Andrew Collins a chance to do the roving.
20 goals in 91 games prior to today, so he's not really a goal kicker. 3 points the difference. Mitchell out of the middle for the Swans. Clever tap on by Kerr. Mackenzie. Has it come back far enough? No. Out on the full.
Could have nearly given the hand pass away then, Warren Mackenzie. Perhaps just not quite seeing his Swans teammate further down the field with a little bit of space.
Sydney leading by those 3 kicks. 3 points. Interference and a push out, and the free kick to Willis. Too far out to score. He's looking to dish off the hand pass. The kick to centre half forward, and right in front is Lewis to take the mark, and that's poor marking by the Hawthorn defence, and the second time in a couple of minutes.
Well, the player there not going for the spoil. Whittlesey just stayed down and watched Lewis take that mark. Both players looking right into the sun, so very difficult, but Lewis still able to take the mark, so no excuse there for Whittlesey.
Dale Lewis from 49 metres, a raking kick, a beauty.
I'm sure that's the sort of thing that the Swans look for from that young fellow. He's an exciting prospect, and he was given the honour of taking over the number 3 Guernsey from Gerard Healy.
There's that mark again, and Whittlesey just shading his eyes from the sun there at the end, but Lewis not particularly concerned about it. Just got up and put his body in front, went for the mark. A couple of occasions Hawthorn defenders a little bit slack.
So the ball up back in the centre with under 20 minutes left in this second term. The Swans are a chance to get clear. Higgins, the ball rebounds off Condon, back towards centre half forward, picked up by Mackenzie. Mackenzie's kick to the pocket, tuck. Out comes Kappa, but Tuck's big punch close to the line. Oh, good strong play in the finish by Jenke. Allen, Jenke gets it back and kicks the Hawks up towards centre half forward. No mark taken. Punch by Cordy was okay. Condon collects the awkward ball. Left foot kick by Condon towards centre half forward. Dunstall nearly takes a miraculous one-hander. After it goes Toohey. And good strong play by Bernard Toohey. Never lets his mates down up there in defence. Attempted gather by Whitman, he gets it, can't do much with it, goes after it once again. Tap on comes from Carroll, Mitchell, Willis, it came from Kerr rather, and now a free kick is going to the Swans for the Hawthorn player Whittlesey not moving the ball on, and it will go to Lewis. Lewis's kick wide to this near half forward. Kappa marks a long way from goal. Short passes on, no, he kicks into the man on the mark, which was Jenke. Getting back Collins. Kicks quickly, goes through Higgins. Awkward one, good gather Condon. Handball away to Hudson. Very quiet after he kicked the goal early in the first term. Mark taken by Toohey.
Toohey, the hand pass away. Taken by Holmes. Darren Holmes up towards half forward. Mew got a hand to it, but it comes to Doolan. Doolan's kick inside the 50. Tunbridge crashes his way through and wins possession. Back to Doolan. Great hand pass. Mackenzie. But his hand pass missed Williams. He's still only 40 metres out. Back he goes. Carroll should kick this. Got the distance, but not the accuracy.
Well, it's made it a little bit easier, the changes that Hawthorn have been forced to make, with Tunbridge doing so well in that first quarter. Jenke is now playing on Kappa, and that has made his job easier.
Langford kicks in and finds Whitman unattended at centre half back. Plays on fairly quickly, kicks it in towards the centre, marking contest. Now Brereton, hand pass away to Condon, who's getting quite a few possessions. That pass has been well weighted, and the mark is taken by Hudson just inside the 50-metre line. Paul Hudson obviously a little concerned about the distance. Now he may settle down and kick it long. Higgins, his opponent for the afternoon, on the mark. Ideal conditions for football here at the Sydney Cricket Ground, apart from the muddy centre. And Hudson and his endeavours to get the length. He hooked the ball badly and it's out on the full. So a free kick to be taken in that back pocket by, well, I thought it was going to be Toohey, but it's not. It's going to be Cordy. Cordy, who, as Cameron mentioned, played most of that first term with a dislocated finger. So full credit to him back there in defence for the Swans. Now he's electing to kick across goal. Sometimes that's not allowed. But this time the umpire says it's okay. Willis drops a sitter. Brereton closing, but Willis has got plenty of time to get the handball away to Aythorne. Aythorne goes further to Bayes. Bayes is usually a lovely long kick. This is no exception. In towards the centre. Picked up there by Doolan, bundled off the football. Now chance for Andrew Jarman. Handball over the top, Condon goes to Pritchard. Pritchard kicks it quickly, but getting back for the Swans to take a good mark is Toohey, right on the end of the square.
Well, Robert, that's all coming because of the pressure that's being applied by Sydney. And Pritchard just got the ball and kicked blindly. And the Sydney Swans really applying a great deal of pressure on Hawthorn. They're not really used to it.
Here's Kelly going for a run. Over to Greg Williams. Kelly came out with a new jumper in the second quarter just as well. Williams kicked out of bounds on the full, because Kelly in the first minute went into the mud and was carrying around the equivalent of a whole backyard of soil.
Too true. Too true. That was uncharacteristic by Williams, wasn't it?
And maybe, you mentioned it before, he had a shot for goal which was astray. Maybe it's just lack of match practice and finesse. Off the ground tuck. There's a second chance, Michael Tuck. Hudson waiting for the bounce, gets it. Paul Hudson off the left, steers it for Dunstall. Well, the teammates up the ground have just delivered it perfectly. Silver service.
Yeah, certainly a pleasure playing at full forward when you get passes like that. Dunstall out in front though, and plenty of space on the forward line to lead into.
Dunstall for number 3. That's a good one. Hawthorn within 4 points, 5-7, trailing the Swans 6 goals, 5.
We see the replay again. If Hawthorn can get the ball down there quickly enough into the forward line, they have Dunstall, Brereton, Hall and Hudson, all players capable of kicking 5 or 6 goals on any given day. And Jason Dunstall doing well, but nothing Toohey could do about that one. He's done his job when the ball's been in close contact.
Now, I think the magic word for the afternoon here is going to be pressure. How long can the Swans keep it on for? The Hawks, if they get some space, very, very talented. Condon's going to get the ball away from the centre, courtesy of a free kick. Handball to Whittlesey. Whittlesey's kick towards centre half forward. Tap on. Chance there for Anderson. Off the ground by Brereton. Dunstall tries to gather. Now Anderson. Left foot kick by Anderson. Into the pocket. Tuck. Up the other end of the ground now, Michael Tuck. Handball inboard. Paul Deere on the ground. Goes after it once again. Dispossessed. Well done. Kelly and Murphy. Kelly's kick in the finish. Not all that good. He wouldn't have been very happy with it, I don't think. And it goes over for a boundary throw-in.
Great smother there by Lewis, I think, the player there that put that smother on Deere's kick.
Boundary throw-in. About 70 metres around from the Hawthorn goal. Chance for Murphy. Pritchard off the ground, mark taken by Cordy. Elected to play on, kick towards centre wing. McKenzie, and what a good grab in front of Mew. And he's doing a pretty good job. Carroll nearly run down by Mew. Carroll gets the kick away. Collins has a chance to gather this awkward ball. Handballs it further right to Jenke. Jenke's kick in towards the centre, and a great diving mark taken by Cordy, covering some fantastic territory. Higgins runs on from the back pocket. Long kick in towards the forward pocket area. Nearly Kappa. Goes after it again. Can't intercept Collins. Collins gets the kick away. Hawthorn are going to turn this all around because Tony Hall has it on centre wing.
Kick by Hall on the bounce to Brereton. He palms the ball into Deere, who's bowled over. No whistle on the play. Carroll back there. The hand pass to Bays, who's kept Brereton right out of the game, Mark Bays. Well, good tackle on Higgins by Hudson. And the ball out of play will have a throw-in. Well done by Paul Hudson. 4 points the difference, the Swans leading. And 13 minutes remaining to half-time. Willis. The other number 15, Allen. Brereton beaten to it by Bays. Brereton waited and Bays charged the ball.
Well, Bays not playing a real attacking game, purely defensive, staying behind Brereton and just punching on every occasion.
So discipline there by Mark Bays. He's doing the job for his coach so far, keeping Brereton out of it. Ruck contest. Ball comes to the back. Hall held a little bit too long for mine, but play goes on. Swans get the ball out towards centre wing. Comes to the back. Whittlesey held by Kerr, and that's the way the umpire sees it. And this time Hawthorn get the free kick. Kerr goes to, Whittlesey goes to Whitman, and Whitman spotted out wide Anderson, who marks on his chest. Short pass, a little bit too short. Lawrence gathers it. Very, very skillful, agile Stephen Lawrence. The kick not too good. In towards the full forward position. Hudson into an open goal. Goes bang and hits the post. Paul Hudson. 1 goal, 1.
And a couple of Hawthorn players not happy there, Robbo.
What, looking for the hand pass off,
Hand
maybe?
pass, Anderson going past. Hudson did have plenty of time though to steady, and normally he probably would have kicked that one, but the hand pass definitely was on to Anderson.
Hawthorn have kicked 2 goals to 1 in this quarter. Pretty low scoring affair. Tui's kick straight up the ground. Jenky goes rather. Jarman climbs high and takes a fantastic mark. All the skills of Australian football. Jarman boys across to Allen, and Allen about 45 metres out from goal. Eminently gettable. Whatever breeze there is, slightly at his back, just drifting down the ground, will barely be worth a goal. Kick by Allen, away to the left. So Hawthorn's inaccuracy may prove costly in the final wash-up.
I noticed something creeping into football these days, Bernie. A lot of players wearing their jumper out of their shorts. Is that? What do you think of that? Is that
I've noticed it, to tell you the truth, Robert.
Well, there's quite a few. Jarman, Paul Deere. There's quite a few. Brereton.
Yeah, I can't understand why. You'd think it'd be easy for the opposition to
Grab hold of
tackle.
it? Yeah. Yes, always the tight-fitting Guernsey was very difficult. Richmond had the lace-ups there at one stage in the middle 70s. Here's a chance now. Aythorne cleverly to Williams. Williams kicked now towards half-forward, punched away there by Whitman. He goes after Kerr. Kerr's handball. Now Hawthorn a chance. Condon gets that awkward footy and kicks it back in towards the centre. It goes over the centre towards Brereton. Hudson, handball. Chance now. Allen goes to Anderson. Well tackled. Holmes beaten for it by Dunstall. In goes Hall, and Hall misses to the left. Hawks just, well, you wouldn't say they messed it up. You'd have to give credit to the harassing of the Swans in defence. And Tony Hall gets his first score for the afternoon. That is a behind. 10 minutes, 10 and a half minutes left in the quarter. Bernard Tui to kick the ball back into play. Goes straight up the ground, very risky. Brereton hard at the footy, and he takes the mark about 40 metres out directly in front.
Well, it's a terrible, risky play from full-back there. And Mitchell, the target, it was a stationary target at that, Robbo, and really if you're kicking out from full-back...
The shortest guy on the ground.
The shortest guy on the ground, and only 30 metres out from goal. This gives Dermott a big chance.
And it'll be one of his rare touches. Oh, his kick is into the man on the mark. No mark, certainly. Hall has the football. Dunstall tries it off the ground. There's a real struggle in the goal front, and it's hurried over for a boundary throw in. And Dermott Brereton is just having a dog of a day here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. He cannot do a thing right.
Well, that was his first kick at the 17-minute mark of the second quarter, and he kicked into the man on the mark. Carroll out of defence. Williams trapping it cleverly, but it spills back behind. Condon. Jarman, his left footer, right to the goal line. Brereton, but he was over the line. For behind. And that's 5 goals, 11, Hawks. Well, they'd better get accurate. They've levelled the scores, but 5-11 is very wasteful.
Certainly. Now Tui makes no mistake this time. He kicks it long, well outside 50 metres. 2 on 2, over the top Mew. Pritchard. Williams, oh, look at the way he shrugs the tackle with sheer arrogance. And the kick is a beauty off the unnatural side. And he finds Kerr just 3 metres away from Whitman. Back he goes. Carroll, who kicks it beautifully with that left foot. Up towards full forward. Kappa can't mark. He was in front. And he fights on. Well done, Warwick Kappa. The kick quickly is by Higgins, was it? And it hit the post. Unbelievable stuff. What have we seen now, Drew? 3 times, I think. Pritchard twice. And Higgins once, was it?
Hudson once
Higgins
also.
4 times. Langford goes into that far side and finds Whitman just on the 50-metre line.
8.5 minutes to go to half-time. Allen for Hawthorn. Shrugs the tackle. The Swans up by a point at the moment. The kick to half-forward. Brereton climbs but can't take the mark. Comes back here to Kelly. To half-forward, and a diving mark is taken by Lewis.
Stevie right on the ground for Sydney.
Stevie getting his first run today. And Lewis in front of Whitman. He'll be kicking from just outside 50. And we saw him earlier in this quarter make the distance easily from 49. So he's a bit of a chance here. Very close. Oh, right on the line, Lawrence. Actually, Langford tried to rush it behind and Lawrence stopped it going through. They've kept the ball in play and Hawthorn have done it well. But Aythorn marks just forward of centre wing.
And he's not doing a bad job on Pritchard either, Mark Aythorn. Kicking towards full forward, Tuck can't mark. Opportunity for Mitchell. Handball away, watch what this man can do. He can't get clear, but it's around the neck. He did duck his head.
Oh, that's a pretty tough decision there.
It was, wasn't it?
Very tough decision. He went to fend off the Hawthorn players. There's where he ducked his head.
But still wasn't around the neck.
That's
that
under
wasn't
the
a bad
armpit.
tackle, was
Well,
it,
maybe
by
that
Collins from front on?
Very lucky, Greg Williams. Maybe that initial tackle was a little bit high. Did touch him on the shoulder, but nothing serious.
Had 20 possessions already, Bernie.
Yes, well, it's very strange for Greg Williams. He hasn't got a tagger on him today, Robbo. Darren Jarman, his opposite number, just playing a completely attacking game as well.
And I'll put this down in the book as a goal. Well, I made a believe.
Not for the first time.
I'll tell you what, he's just
not
a little
kicking
bit
well.
off his game, isn't he, today?
Well, that kick out of bounds on the full earlier, and that goal normally, Robbo, you would have put it down and done it with confidence.
Langford kicks in and goes straight up the ground. Not a bad kick. Hudson can't mark. Williams is in it again, and with lots of skill gets past his opposite number 2, Mew. Kicking towards centre half forward. Mark is taken by Whitman, and a good one backing back into Tunbridge.
Kick by Whitman. Hawks unmarked at centre wing. The mark taken by Anderson. He's got support from Hudson. Approaches 50, draws a man. Short pass, Dunstall.
How did the two guys get out there on their own?
Well, earlier on it was Jenke on that outer wing, and it's happened again. Whoever's patrolling that part of the field for the Swans is just AWOL.
Is that absent without leave? Correct.
Dunstall's kick 3. And number 4. (6-11) Hawthorn, 6-7 the Swans. The Hawks back in front.
And every goal that Dunstall kick, he's been on the end of a perfect pass this time, coming from Hudson. And nothing the fullback can do about those. Tui's done a pretty good job when it's been a one-on-one contest. And on those leading occasions when he can get out in front, Tui just has no hope of stopping it.
Well, Hawthorn back in front by 4 points. Collins, Pritchard, long kick by Pritchard. It's in the corridor, so the Hawks are another chance. Hall goes to the back. Dunstall, can he shrug the tackle? No, unselfishly Hudson, and it's going to bounce through for a Hawthorn goal. Good kick, Paul Hudson. Second goal to Hudson, and very quickly out of the centre. 7-11 play 6-7.
Yes, that's where it's all important, isn't it, to win that ball out of the centre. And a very clever kick in the end here by Hudson. Dermott going for the mark. Hall getting the hand pass. Now look at this kick. He would have been in trouble had he tried to get it high and on a very tight angle on the wrong side, but he just kept it low and dribbled it through. Clever play by Hudson.
You think he meant that, do you?
I'm sure he meant it.
Right, 10 points. Hawthorn's lead, 5 3/4 minutes left. Lawrence up early. Collins has lifted the Hawks from that centre bounce. Kelly, Doolan. Doolan's kick slips off the side of his boot a little, and now it bounces awkwardly back towards the Hawthorn goal. Murphy, short kick is okay. Well done, David Murphy, and he finds McKenzie about 60 metres from goal.
Warren McKenzie steers it to Kappa. And a good chest mark by Warwick Kappa, leading in front of Jenkins.
Well, as I said earlier, Drew, it's just made it a little bit easier for Kappa because Langford has had to play on Tunbridge, who was doing well in that first quarter, on Michael Tuck. And Jenke is now playing fullback on Kappa.
Actually, Bayes came all the way from the other end of the ground to offer a short lead. Bayes thinks he could make the distance from 50. And he obviously worries about Kappa's ability, and quite rightly too. Right in the goal square. Williams in front. Well, he was clean bowled by that one. Jarman out of defence. Swans will have to set it up again. But Hudson has it for Hawthorn. Oh, great boys by Paul Hudson. The kick out wide. Paul caught in a good tackle. Pritchard sprinting onto this. Back to Deere. Deere balks. Bumbles one along the ground. Anderson. High kick fight on behind play. Tony Hall involved. Dunstall down there. Running out of room, Jason Dunstall actually flipped it back onto Tui's feet, and Tui kicked it out of bounds on the full. Clever play by Dunstall.
The quick thinking of some of these senior AFL players today is magnificent.
He runs around. His left footer hooked it too far. And for Dunstall, he's kicked 4-2.
And he just may have hurt his ankle there.
Yeah, he got some treatment from the physio earlier on when he dished off that ball to Hudson.
Yeah, just favouring his leg a little there as he came away from that snapshot.
He looks very poppy at the moment, doesn't he, Dunstall?
I don't think he's looked all that good in the 3 matches that he's had back since that ankle.
No, a few people thought that he may have returned to the fray a little bit too early, Robbo.
But the Hawks obviously trying to get him match practice before the final start in about 7 or 8 weeks' time. Now, Swans, no, I thought advantage may have been paid, but the free kick has been awarded to Hawthorn.
Yeah, Pritchard being held.
And Pritchard looking for a 50-metre penalty against Kelly for not getting the ball back to him quick enough. Now he's allowed to run on too easily. Holmes, poor marking. Big punch back there by Bays. Gathered by Higgins. Now a chance for Carroll. Carroll's kick is long towards half forward. And nearly a good effort back here by Whitman. Mew caught but gets the handball away. Lawrence combining. Whitman, lovely hand pass Pritchard. Pritchard's left foot kick up towards the 50-metre line. Marking contest. Big punch from Neil Cordy at the back. Gatherers by Carroll. Poor kick, clean bowls Pritchard. Would have taken the 3 stumps. Dale Lewis down from Whitman. And that was a bit crude, rude and indifferent. Chris Whitman, no one remonstrating. There is now Mark Aythorn. And Lewis is in the hands of the trainers.
Here's the infringement again, very high and late by Whitman. He just had his arm extended. There was no elbow bent or anything like that, so the emergency umpire going out and having a talk.
I think he reported in the emergency. Yep.
Certainly taken numbers. Play goes on. Mitchell, Tunbridge. Tunbridge kicks the goal. Williams, he may have given the handball off, has he, Bernie,
yes,
to Williams, and Williams kicked the goal. And with 2 3/4 minutes left in the term, the Swans hit back hard, but they still trail by 5 points.
Lewis is okay. The goal coming there from Greg Williams. You see that a good strong mark by Tunbridge. He's played particularly well in that forward pocket. And Greg Williams on the tight angle, one that you may not have expected him to kick. He missed an easy one directly in front earlier, but that one on the boundary line, he did it well, let it roll through.
And Lewis up on his feet, has recovered.
Yeah, he's okay. It wasn't an elbow roll, the arm was extended.
Fair enough. So, what have we got? 2 3/4 minutes left in this first half. Carroll trying to force it forward. Higgins tackles Allen. He didn't have the football. Play goes on. Chance for Allen to kick the Hawks into their forward half. Getting under it, Aythorn. Oh, boy. Could have been nearly knocked flying there. Mitchell, Carroll. Carroll short pass okay. Williams might get another one within a minute. Goes for goal. And nearly a mark. Oh, crashing into the goalpost.
It's Lewis again, isn't it?
Player Lewis.
Copped it from an opponent and a goalpost.
And gets up very quickly once again.
Much of him either. Tight contest. Langford's kick. Mew. It had to be touched on the way through, but the mark was paid. Kick by Mew to half forward. Deere with one hand, the other being held. Deere, hand pass out, but it went behind Allen. Collins back to Condon, and Allen on the 50. Short pass. Oh, choice of players. And Anderson marks right in front, and that's got to be worth 50, even though it won't make any difference. He's only 30 out.
Well, it's not going to be paid, Drew, but 2 Hawthorn players there, they could have raffled that one.
How late's this? That's not 50 metres.
Yeah. Well, dragging the player down after he's taken the mark certainly is a penalty.
Should be right on the goal line. Let's hope he kicks the goal anyway. Dean Anderson, and he's missed it. Yeah. So by not paying the 50, it's cost Hawthorn a goal.
Well, very...
That's your definition, isn't it, when the player's dragged down?
Well, it was definitely, yeah. It was a late tackle by Tui. Obviously a mark to Anderson. Maybe Anderson should have left that one for Hudson. A much more reliable kick in front of goal.
Minute and a quarter left to half-time. Bays giving Brereton a bath. Carroll. Williams cleverly taps on to Mitchell. Mitchell, blind hand pass back. McKenzie comes wide to Kelly.
Brilliant shepherd there by Stevie Wright. Oh,
And a mark taken down here by
he's
Whittlesey.
hurt too. Well,
The Hawthorn players moved.
well, I don't know about that brilliant shepherd, Robbo.
do you think there was an elbow in it?
I don't think there was an elbow in it, but I don't know whether it's all such good shepherding. It was
Murphy snaps.
a lot of force in that shepherd that may not have been needed.
Pritchard not looking too good.
No, he's been hit very hard, Drew. Very hard, Darren Pritchard. He was wide open.
Kick in, goes to the far side. Gather is by Condon. Condon, hand pass, finds Anderson. Anderson streaming out of centre half back. Still Pritchard in the hands of the trainers. And a stretcher is coming onto the ground as Bays kicks the Swans up towards half forward. Lewis has the football. Kick in towards full forward. Kappa, what a good mark! Gee, they've got some problems, the Hawks, with...
Well, Pritchard on his feet now. Good to see that they won't be needing the stretcher to cart him off the ground.
Siren has sounded, so the only clarification now is whether Kappa can kick the distance from 40 metres.
Well, he should be able to make the distance. Pritchard now being helped off the ground. It was a big crunch from Steve Wright. Got him right down the middle.
So the Hawks score will not change. 7-13-55, and the Swans will go forward. No, it won't. It's out of the full. So at half-time, Hawthorn lead by 4 points. 7-13-55. The Swans are 7-9-50.